A very good evening to you all. You're watching NewsX. I'm Megha Sharma. Now, was there a conspiracy against India's cryogenic tech space program 27 years back that led to the arrest and the torture of the former ISRO scientist Nambi Narayanan? The sealed report by the Supreme Court appointed panel that was led by Justice D.K. Jain to the Chief Justice of India has put the focus back into the investigation of possibly the biggest conspiracy in the history of any space program of the entire world. Why did the cops want Nambi Narayanan removed from the ISRO cryogenic program? Why did the cops from Kerala want Nambi Narayanan to name the then ISRO chief U.R. Rao? Who sanctioned the torture of Nambi Narayanan and the other scientists, and under whose instructions were the cops acting out against Nambi Narayanan? Was there a political fallout within the ruling Congress in Kerala, and thus a well thought out plot to oust the then chief minister of the state? And was it the American or the French intelligence pressure that ended up forcing the Russians to breach the contract with India? There are so many unanswered questions, and all hopes now pinned on the Supreme Court hearing the case next Tuesday. Joining me on the broadcast, a very special guest. I will first introduce K. Siddhartha. And K. Siddhartha, my first question to you, obviously this has been a long-drawn battle for Nambi Narayanan, the former ISRO chief. He was the cryogenic ISRO space program head back in 1994 when it had been launched. At this point of time, 27 years on, there has been an investigation that has been proposed by the SC-led Chief Justice, by the former retired Justice D.K. Jain and his team, going ahead and saying that there needs to be an investigation done into this entire case to bring about the follies and who were the ones who actually put in pressure internationally as well as domestically to malign the name of Nambi Narayanan and obviously bring a bad repute to ISRO.
I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear your question. You're not completely audible to me. Sorry.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, please.
My question to you being that this entire case has been revived after 27 years. There has been a demand by the union government to the Supreme Court to list out the case, the hearing that takes place next Tuesday. This has all happened after a renewed report in a sealed envelope has been provided by the Supreme Court recommended committee to the Chief Justice of India, Justice Bobde. Is there renewed hope now that justice prevails and in all fairness, Nambi Narayanan's case and his name is not tarnished?
Well, you cannot go on to say that after 27 years, say after having gone through so much amount of humiliation, after having gone through so much amount of physical torture, after having lost a complete career and a contribution that you would have possibly made to India's space program, particularly cryogenic engine, and after having undergone through so much amount of a loss of time, there is absolutely no possibility that we can go to justify it by saying that some amount of a justice will go on to prevail, particularly the amount of torture and other things that has gone. Can you imagine the amount of a setback that India's space program has undergone through it? You cannot. And the only, I go on to see it, that not exactly in any form of a compensation, but the silver lining that if I am forced to draw out of it is that this type of a conspiracy has gone on to become a common theme against anything that India is able to make a mark on the world scene, whether it is going to be India's space program. And you can imagine who were going to be gaining out of India's space program. There must have been some vested interest in maligning the name of ISRO, in maligning India, in delaying India's space program, playing with the security of the country, playing with the type of economy that India would have gained. How is it that we can ever go on to say that some amount of a justice will be done to the scientist and also to our country? Forget about the scientist, to our country as well. So the larger issue in this case is going to be that this country does not go on to get subjected to such type of wheeling and dealing by all of those nefarious designs of any of the countries involved, Western countries, maybe Arabian countries, maybe the neighboring countries, whoever it is going to be, that is where we have to guard ourselves in this case.